Hello, and welcome to our review for Interstellar, but before we start, we just want to remind you to subscribe up here, give us a thumbs up, and comment down below, and click on the links. They'll take you to another galaxy.
What can we say about Interstellar?
This movie was mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
Yes.
So,
we got Christopher Nolan back, director, writer. He wrote it with his brother, Jonathan Nolan.
Again.
Which they collaborate almost on every previous movie they've made.
Pretty much.
I think all. Got Academy Award
winner.
Matthew McConaughey. Anne Hathaway, Academy Award winner.
You got Wes Bentley, you got Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Matt Damon, Michael Caine.
Casey Affleck, Topher Grace, Ellen Burstyn, John Lithgow, and David Gyasi. So you got a star-studded cast.
Yes. 5 of those players are Academy Award winners, correct? Christopher Nolan was nominated for Inception as Best Picture a few years back, but he hasn't won anything, remarkably so. Before we start going into the plot, just to let you guys know, this movie is almost 3 hours long.
2 hours and 49 minutes to be exact.
3 hours with the trailers, I'm sure, and if you stay for credits because you like them. But go to the bathroom, take a shit.
Yep, so let's get into it. What's it about?
It's about, okay, we have Dust Bowl America.
Yeah.
It's back, and slowly strains of organic life are dying off, such as wheat. And then we just have corn left, and everybody's surviving off of corn, but there is evidence that that's going to die off soon.
Yep.
So we have to leave Earth, because this place is not viable for us anymore. And scientists at an underground NASA place has found a wormhole right next to Saturn. So their plan is to send people off into space to find a new planet to inhabit.
Right. So let's go into the positives.
This movie is so good.
In everything. Visually breathtaking. The acting is phenomenal. It's so heartfelt. And it's so dark and gritty too.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have a lot of CGI effects. I mean, there's CGI, obviously, but a lot of it feels so practical throughout the movie.
Yeah.
There's not a moment where you're just like, that's an obvious CGI effect. And the ones that are kind of obvious, like I would say there's a planet with waves.
Yeah.
Like it's in the trailer. That one looks a little bit more obvious than a lot of other effects, but for the most part, this movie is on point. It looks real.
Right. You have this sci-fi feel to it. I mean, obviously it's a sci-fi movie, but you have that old sci-fi feel for it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's bringing it back like 2001: Space Odyssey, all that stuff. We have last year's Gravity.
Yes.
And then we have this year's Interstellar. When you look at like the Earth in the beginning of the movie in Gravity, and you look at Earth in this movie, it's completely different.
This movie, like, there's a famous photo taken from the moon of the Earth the first time it's taken outside of Earth. And there were moments like that, but not just with Earth.
Yeah.
With every single aspect. There's certain planetary objects that there's photos of that are just so hyper-realistic.
And it's so great.
Oh, it's unparalleled in its benchmark.
So it's visually breathtaking, yes. But I want to go into a little bit more about the acting.
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey, where did you come from? Like, yes, last year you won for, Dallas Buyers Club.
Which he was good in.
Yeah, you were awesome. But then you got this one where you're just, like, phenomenal. And I don't, dude, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it right.
Me personally, I think he's definitely up for a nomination. I still am on Michael Keaton's shoulders just because of the filmmaking of that and how much more of a strain on acting it has. But
I think this is Matthew McConaughey's best role.
I think it's his best performance, hands down, that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Probably will ever have, because Christopher Nolan is a one-of-a-kind director.
There's no other way to say it. I honestly think he might win for an Oscar. I don't know. We still have time.
I also think Christopher Nolan's up for an Oscar this year.
Yep. Also, Anne Hathaway killed it, I thought. Anne Hathaway did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
So did Jessica Chastain.
Michael Caine was good. He's always good.
Yeah, he's always good.
He doesn't even have to try.
You have John Lithgow in the beginning part of the movie, and he's funny, and he's awesome. It's John Lithgow. He's amazing in everything he does as well. But then you have this guy that I haven't really personally seen before. His name is David Gyasi. He's with them. He goes with them. Into space, and there's things that happen when they're going to space, and things that happen towards the middle of the movie with him, and his character development is so great, and his portrayal of his character just was mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, it was very subliminal. Like you don't really think about these things because, I mean, this movie deals with special relativity. Time is different for certain individuals, we'll just say it that way, and he is not on film a lot, but when he is, you see a strain on him because of the time differential theory. This movie was shot in IMAX, and we were lucky enough to get tickets for IMAX and see it at midnight and all that jazz, and I cannot highly suggest seeing this movie more in IMAX, and honestly, if you look at some of the critic reviews, I think a lot of these critics have given this a poorer review, haven't seen it in IMAX.
I don't know what the deal is with a lot of the people who are saying this is not a good movie, because it really is one of the greatest movies of this year.
Hans Zimmer he nailed the score in every sense of it.
Every tense moment that there was, the music was on point. Every moment where everything was calm and beautiful, the music was fantastic.
There was this ethereal, classic sci-fi nature to it.
Especially towards the end where things are just going down. The music brought you with Matthew McConaughey's character.
The other thing, one more pro, is there are scenes of such great, breathtaking beauty that, like, there were, like, points in the movie that tears were welling up in my eyes.
Yeah.
It was so overwhelmingly,
very emotional movie, yeah.
Overwhelmingly beautiful. So let's go into cons. I personally, myself, I don't have anything wrong with the movie. I have a few things that maybe were a little convenient, but not really anything big. The big thing that, as a viewer at home, the mainstream viewer, is that this movie is very complex. It's like Inception in its complex nature, but Inception does it in a way that's a little easier to grasp, I feel. I would suggest, and this is only con because you have to put a lot of work into this movie, I feel, if you're not ready. And that is, look at what special relativity is. Look at maybe the basis of string theory if you have time, before watching this movie, because it's going to be like special relativity in your face, and you're just like, wow, I didn't know the universe operated.
But it's not something that you have to do because it is kind of explained for you, and you do grasp it easily, I think. So going into a con that I kind of felt was the relationship between Matthew McConaughey's him and his daughter, and compared to his son. It's a really father-daughter movie.
Oh yeah.
But he has an older son that, to me, Tom, is kind of on the wayside. So I would have really liked more of a balance, because I really would have thought it would have brought Casey Affleck's character into more into fruition, because I personally think Casey Affleck is one of my favorite actors. So that's the only kind of flaw that I felt, was because I'm really close to my family. So, I've been taught, you love your children equally. So when I see this movie, it kind of felt like it was not like that, especially since the son is all for his father. Like, he's really pro Matthew McConaughey going and, reaching out to him, whereas, his relationship with his daughter is stronger, I think. And so it's weird to me.
It's more impactful when he leaves, I guess is the way to put it. Let's rate it up. I'm going to give this movie 5 out of 5 TARS. And honestly, go see this movie. It is a masterpiece of cinema. It might not be recognized as one for a few years, I feel. It's easily the best movie I've seen all year, and I don't think anything else will touch us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I also give this 5 out of 5, but I give it 5 out of 5 Matthew McConaughey's, because Jesus Christ, Matthew McConaughey, you did it. This movie, to me, is perfect. This movie is the best of the year, and it's also going to be one of my top 5s. This movie had me glued to the screen for the whole 2 hours and 49 minutes that it was. I did not want to leave the theater. I didn't want to look away. There was a time where I looked at you and I was like, hey, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And then I kept watching, and that was about the only time I broke from watching the screen.
We're going to try to do a spoiler review on this coming up as soon as possible. I feel like we need to really get some of the nitty-gritty elements out.
Yeah.
We're also going to ask you to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And let us know
watch this movie.
what you think of it.
Yeah.
Just subscribe up here. Let us know what you think about this video down below. Give us a thumbs up and click on those links down there.
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds good.